So I recorded this video about 2 weeks ago, but I'm re-recording it because I was too busy to upload it when I did it. So I was like away on holiday for a week in Calgary and didn't have any Wi-Fi where I was staying. I've had work and I've been house sitting. So yeah, this is a little bit later than I anticipated. I did make up all my social media for this video like way earlier, but oh well. Also lots changed since then, otherwise I would have just used the old footage. For instance, this will make sense later in the video, but I finally got my book list for university, so I can give you more of a more accurate description of what I'll be reading in the next month or so. So yeah.
Well, here we are back on the hot muggy street of New York.
Hello, my name is Shannon. I go by Coffee Nurse here on YouTube, and this is my first video on this channel, so that's pretty exciting. I'm 19 years old. I live in Perth, Western Australia, and I work in retail. I study film, English lit and archaeology at uni, and that's kind of, I guess, all you need to know about me really. On this channel I'll be doing book and movie reviews. For the book reviews, I'm hoping to do sort of like a monthly thing, so like a wrap up of all the books that I've been reading that month. Prior to that, I hope to sort of plan out those books and tell you guys what I'll be reading, so it's sort of like a book clubby kind of thing, so you can like read along with me if you want to, or you don't have to. The movies will be slightly different. I'll be either doing a weekly or bi-weekly review on like a random movie that I choose. I'd rather not plan that out because, you know, you feel like watching different things at different times. So it would be better, I think, if I just like go with my gut and then I don't disappoint anyone. It's obviously one of those things that like you can see from the title of my video what I watched, so you can just like go back and do that. Whereas with a book, it's like kind of time consuming to do that. I'm doing this for a few reasons. Most of them are quite sort of like personal development style stuff. So like with the book reviews, I'm not a very consistent reader, so sometimes I can spend like a month reading something, or like 2 weeks, or like a few days, it depends. I often read just on public transport and I don't always make time for it in my spare time. By doing the book club style thing, I'll actually know what I'll be reading and give myself more of a deadline for that. So like this month I'll be reading these 3 books. So it'd be more of an incentive for me to kind of keep it nice and concise, like my reading and my reviewing and things like that, if that makes sense. Probably not the best word choice. The book reviews will also encourage me to do more research around what I'm reading, and like after I do it and things like that. I'm hoping to give, within my reviews, I hope to sort of like give my overall opinion on them and then go into a little bit more depth about themes in the novel so I'll be researching those themes and any historical events that are mentioned, and also I would like to make my review a little bit more well-rounded. I will look at other people's thoughts and opinions and include that in the video as well. So I'll become more of an informed person as well, and it probably helped me a lot at university because my research will be more in depth for the novels I'm reading and all that kind of stuff. Doing this and forcing myself to have like an audience to write for will also improve my writing style, I hope. Like my book reviews and things like that. And again, with the researching and stuff, I'll read other people's reviews and that might influence my writing a little bit, so that would be good as well. In terms of the films, like I'm really, really bad with watching movies. Like I want to be a filmmaker, that's my dream goal, but I'm really not showing that in my hobbies. Hopefully by making this sort of weekly or bi-weekly kind of like review for movies, I'll be watching more stuff and that'll keep me motivated. I guess they differ because my book reviews, I always publish them since I started my Goodreads account, which I'll link in my description and at the end of the video as well. I'll just be talking about the movie. I won't actually be publishing anything, and I've never done that before. I've never really published any movie reviews or anything like that. I do rate films on like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and things like that, but I've never actually published like a full-blown review like I would for every book that I've read. So that would be really cool to like sort of make myself do that, and for a different form of art really. The other reasons that I wanted to do some more book reviewing and things like that is because I noticed that the vast majority of booktubers that I've seen do a lot of stuff for young adult fiction, and that's not really something that I read. I find it a bit too sort of generic, and I felt like I'd kind of like film in my own niche. I'll just let him wander and do his thing. This is my dog Otto, and I love him. He's a miniature pincer. I also have a long-haired dachshund, but he doesn't like being picked up as much as Otto does. So yeah, his name is Manny. So I like to read a lot of it's just like general fictional literature. Like, I guess the classics as well. Like, I do read a lot of classic literature and things like that, and in the canon, all that jazz. Yeah, it's hard to put into a box, I guess. I will really read anything that sounds interesting to me. What I do tend to steer away from, however, is anything that sounds too generic or like predictable and kind of like I'm not really going to get anything out of it. My end goal with everything I read is that it'll change me somehow, slightly in my perspective on the world, or I'll learn something about myself while reading it, or about like humanity, or you know, all that jazz. I want to get something from the experience. You are investing time into things when you're reading, so you know, you need to get something from that experience, I think. With that, I don't generally read a lot of sci-fi fantasy or like mystery thriller novels, because I always feel like it's really hard to not be generic with that kind of thing. There's obviously like a massive range of exceptions to that, so it's not that I will not read those genres, it's just that I don't read them as much as I would like general fictional literature. Movies, it's like just a mixed bag. I don't watch a lot of blockbuster action movies because it's not really something that I enjoy watching, because again, kind of predictable. I don't really get much from it because it's superficial most of the time, but I guess you'll get more of a sense of that from my reviews and things like that. I do really try to branch out and look at different things, so hopefully there'll be more variety there. So in terms of what I'll be doing in the future, I'll be doing like a wrap-up video of all the books I had to read for uni. Those books were The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, Beloved by Toni Morrison, Like Water for Chocolate by Laura Esquivel? I'm gonna say Esquivel. The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by Arundhati Roy, A Star Called Henry by Roddy Doyle, and Greengrass Running Water by Thomas King. Don't have a physical copy of that one yet because I ordered it online. I do really try to avoid doing that. I bought 4 out of 6 of these books from secondhand bookshops, 1 from an independent bookshop, and obviously the other one I got online. I use the book depository because like free shipping and they're normally quite cheap. So those were the ones I'll be reading in the next month or so, hopefully. I'll try not to go over that because I am starting university next week and I've only read 1 of them, so I do want to try and get through most of them before I start like doing the proper analysis for them at university. I want to get my uni reading out of the way so that I can do my personal reading. That's sort of all I wanted to say. Hopefully this will be way more concise than my last video where I rambled a lot. So I have an Instagram and a Goodreads account, and I'm making a Facebook account, so when this is uploaded I will make the Facebook account specifically for my YouTube. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this and I hope that you stick around for my future content. That'd be really cool. Possibly give this video a like, and yeah, if you do want to stick around for my other stuff, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you in a few weeks with my wrap-up video and possibly sooner with a movie review. See how it goes. Yeah, awesome. Done.